Plastics Party Crypt Contracts.
Same Marquess. Easy request. It's only us
Bigzov says,
leveling, Ali.
Lancebringer says end quote, I have the situational awareness of a blind bird, and it's everyone else's fault I ran into the wind. 11-inch says paying someone $20 to level me from 35 to 50 PM me. God's Eye says LMAO. KAKLNG says if you think those tutorial dungeons are hard good. Rasputin says okay pay me in Ethereum. Spindale says more like 60 bucks, times are tough. Carpet says 11-inch says I don't own Jew. Avalo says LFG Silia 6F. 11-inch says I only have Bitcoin. KAKLNG says BT. Arnanimios says why do you play? XNMX says the. Lancebringer says tell you what, PayPal me too. Keats. 11-inch says LOL what. Rasp. Miss Hollow says why this doesn't work. 11-inch says look into. Bulgaji says LF. Tukva Swink says just block M. KAK. 11-inch says it's literally a Jewish scam with a Russian frontman. Rasputin says racism is a 11-inch says just report Rasp for using slurs, it's pathetic. KAKLNG says why? Lanspring. Arnanimios. 11-inch. Rasp. Tukva Swink says Raspo just really hates Dale Earnhardt. God's Eye says geez this guy is crazy. Steziag says same. Steziag says DM me if cray. 11-inch says people aren't individuals, they come from their. Lancebringer says 11's fingers push through the TP as he wipes standing up. Mysterio Spell says why haven't you all. 11-inch says imagine thinking everyone is equal. 11-inch says like. Rasp. C2 God says true you. Rasputin says we live in capitalism. Rasputin says you think you and Jeff Bezos get the. Krazetime says TBH, comparing this game to WoW, I like how much fat. Asteriona says 11 inches equals size of your tumor. 11-inch says then why you. 11-inch says low IQ. Mysterio Spell says WoW's dungeons had more rewards per run though. Rasputin says it's a good troll TBH. Rasputin says let's see how long it works. Krazetime. Carpet says ting. Lancebringer says it's the wheel diameter of their hover round wheels. 11-inch says low IQs in the world chat SMH. Rasputin says turn on your monitor, sir. Carpet says IQ is made up. 11-inch says L. Carpet. KAKLNG says Rasputin. Lancebringer says end quote, I can't. 11-inch says stay in school kids. Krazetime says equipment crafter is north of Oasis. Where's Event Peddler? Rasputin says it's not blue. Lancebringer says the screen text rant be wild yo, this. Rasputin says I think you are making another bad joke though. Keatsara says Event Peddler is in Vienta Village RN. Rasputin. KAKLNG says why you hate testosterone and heteronormal PPL? Rasputin says who said that? Lucky Blackatene. Rasputin says you have low T bro. KAKLNG. Rasputin says and I hate you. 11-inch says Asians have the highest IQ on average. Tufa Swink says I'm harmonized, I said. Carpet says my brain is smooth and aesthetic. 11-inch says Moontown says 2600 DPS LFG sank. Carpet says yours is all wrinkly and weird.
Ouch.
Theodes says what the is going on. Lancebringer says IQ is a measurement of math, memory retention, spatial perception, and language. Kingdom Mysterio spell says people just not reporting 11. Kingdom 1v9 says LF1 DPS Lios F6 mass farm. Kingdom 1v9's party. 11-inch says, Lancebringer says guarantee. IDFK how to spell it? Rasputin says people really like outing themselves as morons. Rasputin says to people they don't know. 11-inch says Stame. Lancebringer says I engineer. 11-inch says seriously. Rasputin says LOL. Rasputin says using the word seethe. Rasputin says so cool. 11-inch says all these neckbeards scream for a mod every time. 11-inch says, Diffwakening says LFG Island. Lancebringer says good job buddy.
If someone looks the same, doesn't mean their skills haven't grown.
Rasputin says 11-inch united Lance and everyone who hates Lance in hating him. Rasputin says the prophecy is fulfilled. Josh Can't Game says I have multiple beards on my neck. God's Eye says hot. Lancebringer says listen, I can be. 11-inch says take a shower every week you gross pigs.
Do you need anything? Yes. Welcome.
Carpet says never. Theodes says weak.
I don't know what those are,
11-inch says you. Josh Can't Game says why does having a neck beard mean I don't shower?
Be wary of outsiders.
Rasputin says respect brother. 11-inch says so at least a week should be a big improvement for you sickos.
You need the rest of the passphrase to find Martinet.
11-inch says clean your bed. Josh Can't Game. Gary Exp says Typhro. 11-inch says sleeping in Flith.
That was close. I can't believe the ghastly tales were true.
Buret says DPSL. Kingdom Lance. Arnanimios says why are you guys talking to this annoying guy? KR3W Heel says LFG crypt.
You want to meet with Martinet? Head to the By the way, many of the townsfolk, including myself,
Josh Can't Games. 11-inch. Theodes says L. At first, Tufa Swink says the block button is 11-inch. XNMX says just Ingor lands. 11-inch. Carpet says showering is a siop by. Rasputin says 11-inch says the cruelest festival in. Emerald Assassin says LFG6F Silius Abyss. God's Eye says blocking is for normal PPL. Says unable to morph. Says Buret says deep. Tufa Swink. Josh Can't Game says who are we reporting? "11-inch says block the truth and you'll always stay mediocre. Lancebringers, 11-inch says enjoy your $20/hour job, says you have unread mail.
I haven't seen you around before, so what brings you here? I see. Play sent you to me.
Rasputin says how much do you make?
Liz, my sister Adriana also suffers from bouts of mana frenzy. If you're suffering from the effects of mana frenzy as well, a mana calming potion can alleviate your symptoms.
Okay.
I'd brew one for you, but I just used my last batch of ingredients, and unfortunately I must stay here for the time being.
11-inch says now you just try to discredit. Theodes says oh okay he's probably. 11-inch says typical blue-haired So Emily says work in mom basement for free.
Then I'll tell
Theodes
you
says
what,
NVM just block him.
to the Golden Apothecary in the Golden Rye pastures. You'll be able to
Rasputin
find
says,
wanted
Buret says DPSL, Rasputin says how much you make dude. 11-inch says block, and seethe haters.
how to use waypoints, right? If you aren't sure, go ask
11-inch,
Grace.
Bonzik says, Asteriona says I make, Theodes says he's not old enough. 11-inch says, Lancebringer says why not use denigrate. Rasputin says no answer, imagine that. Rasputin says can't even come up with a lie.
Bring me some rancid powder.
Says you, Castleton Infirmary has been closed, says you have unread mail. Rasput, 11-inch says another misdirection. 11, Trent Cafe says 11 can't beat the story and spends his time in arguing. 11-inch says I eat trolls for breakfast. Theodes says LMAOOO.
Lux magic. They allow you to instantly traverse from one location to another.
11, Tufa Swink says they are nanimios. 11, Lancebringer says bro is a min wage. 11-inch says you low IQ noob. Carpet says don't Tufa Swink says these living armor and Theodes says world. 11, Tufa Swink says it's awful. 11-inch says that's who is here typing RN. Nubatastic says Nubatastic's party crypt contracts. Lancebringer says everyone has a right to speech, but no one. 11-inch says I'm just typing. Trent, 11-inch says pathetic really. Carpet says bro or mom has that gushy gushy. Lancebringer says anyway. Rasputin says it's a good troll. Rasputin says on the other hand. Tufa Swinks, Buret says DPSLFG6F Silas. Says Heroes of Castleton 2-page collected. Rasputin, Theodes says guys you, Kingdom 1v9 says LF1 DPS Silas F6 Mass Farm Kingdom 1v9's party. Rasputin says since it's impossible to get says Old Intelligence Record 91-3 book collected. Lancebringer says yeah, I've been doing that, seems inefficient, but I guess there's not much else in the way of methods. Carpet says I already got banned once LMAO. Cap America says what is going on. Theodes says LOL. Says a plea to the break. Lancebringer says even I haven't been banned from this game. Rasp, 11-inch says LOL imagine getting banned. 11-inch says what a noob. Carpet says don't say bad things about Arabs. Carpets, Rasputin says Arabs are cool. Lancebringer says that's what got me Reddit permabanned. Rasputin says Palestinians are heroes. Lancebringer says turns out, they don't like their own violent history. Killface 357 says DPSLFG Island. Says an unsent letter book collected.
Kino-collect ako yung mga books eh before ako umalis ng town. May ma-unlock.
Nutcracko says Silas Abyss Healer looking for DPS Nutcracko's party.
Mas mapalevel ako. I'm requesting.
Yolo says no one's caress about the Hibijabai MFS LOL. Carpet says I will become the hero the server needs. Lancebringer says point out they settled Palestine with the intent to end quote, keep Jews from spreading end quote, kicked all Jews out of Rasputin says who is end quote, they end quote. Lancebringer says Muslim countries in the Middle East. Says Oath of the Resistance book collected. Lancebringer says it's historical fact. Rasputin says yeah what Moontown. Techie Fox says, Rasputin says go on. Kick, Buret says 3 Lancebringer says considering Islam spread by literal murder and violence since about 635 AD, Rasputin says name them. Yellow says no one cares genuinely.
Let's explore the town, guys.
Lancebringer says till Rasputin failed world history. Says you have entered a peace zone.
Ayaw niya kausapin. Ayun.
Where am I? Oh, I'm in the ocean. Okay, let's go back to the town.
Nutcracker. Lancebringer says granted. Says you have entered a safe zone.
You entered the safe zone.
Cap America says I'm actually. Rasputin says who is Kemal Ataturk anyways. Primal Mojo says Primal Mojo's party. Carpet says Gibbs tendies. Says you have entered a peace. Cap America says I'm making extra. Says you have entered a safe zone.
Safe zone. So, peace mode, peace zone is like PvP.
Lancebring. Carpet says based anon. Techie says old intelligence record 61-2 book collected.
Yeah, I'm collecting the books.
Lancebringer says WTF you mean it wasn't Islamic? Guy Malson says World Chat never fails to remind me why I always vote to give money to the local schools on the Hiramaya says Healer LFG Crypts. Cap America says I'm biased cause of my country's history, but Ottoman Empire really made bitches out of us in the past.
However, Laslan was freed again by the Founders Order, led by Captain Da Vinci, and the Laslan Allied Resistance Forces were founded here.
The town is big.
Kipsu says I just made myself some waffles for Breck. Kipsu says 10/10. Tufus, Lancebringer says bros quiet, must have googled it. Lancebringer says did you think it was Catholic or something? Tufus Swink says that's the kind of socialism I want. Tufus Swink says the kind with free peanut butter. Guy Malson says I would back the peanut. Corkcell says Corkcell's party. Primal Mojo says Primal Mojo. Rasputin says did I think the Ottomans were Catholic? Cap America says peanut butter jelly time. Sung by a banana. Lancebringer says you said they weren't Islamic. Lancebringer says so what did you think they were? Rasputin says I don't think you have any idea what the Ottoman Empire is. Yellow says gay. Rasputin says it was a Christian majority after 1830. Guy Malson says no lie I volunteer at food pantries and they need that. Yellow says he thought the was gay. Tufa Swink says they were Ottomans. Sir Bronson, Nubitat, says the notification enabled Peace Corps. Cap America says Lililo. Says you have entered a safe zone. Arpacan says if King Felipe II of Spain conquered England he was going for Constantinople after so they got lucky. Lancebringer says, held the Caliph. Cap America says anyone remembers the end quote. Gingers. Jathorn says imagine fighting politics while playing a game LOL. Rasputin says it Q is. Moist Hero says LFG. Says flag letter, Lancebringer says 1301. Lancebringer says to 1922. Lancebringer says Islamic Empire. Lancebringer says ain't a damn thing. Rasputin says I know what a caliphate is. Rasputin says I also know what. Lancebringer says clearly you don't.
I don't know.
Cap America says but do you know her story? Yalo says genuinely no one's what y'all yappin' about lol. Lancebringer says he knows heresy apparently. Cap America says got M.
Pork, ano nga yung ano mo? Ano yung... Add kita. Halina,
Primal
party
Mojo
tayo.
says Primal Mojo's party.
Level 22 ka na. Nag-addict ka.
Hiramaya says,
Sabi
Yalo
mo,
says
hindi
hate
mo
Jews and
gusto
Islam.
na.
Ba't di ka ma-accept? Sino ba to?
Cap America says as long as you hate everyone equally.
Ikaw
Yalo
tong,
says
ano,
WERD up. Nubatastic says Hobbs's memo 1 page
Japanese
collected.
name. Di ko ma-add pork chop. Tingnan mo.
Primal Mojo says Primal Mojo's party
Di ko
mallocker.
alam kung bakit. Jiguku connection.
Corkcell says Corkcell's party Abyss 5F.
What? No! Again. Adyo bro. Ito yun? Ikaw,
Says
ikaw
Henry's
to,
letter
level-
4 page collected. Cap
Ayan,
America
ako na lang
says
nag-send
isn't hate
ng
just
friend
another
request.
form of love though? Yalo says not. Ford Fortuna says Ford Fortuna's party. Says Henry's letter 2 page collected. Coffee Bara says Henry's letter 1 page collected. Carpet said, Rizalin Guy Malson says hate is another form of attention though, you have to give aid to hate. Keith Sora says hate is a different type of passion.
Yung mga book letters.
Zoomter says the great mammal cultural revolution, animal rights, democratization, freedom, independence, multi-species system, the anti-wool struggle and LT, made in China, says Laszlo. Cap Maricus, Tufa Swink says the passion of Killface 357 says INV. Tufa Swink says with Mel Gibson. Cap Maricus says he doesn't seem very. Arpican says Christ. Tufa Swink says he. Coffee Bara says aliens.
We have here.
Yalo says did my bot Yitler dirty.
I'm so high. Holy crap.
Vipar says if you claim we're 3,000 plus with hidden weapons stop the cap. Coffee Bara says old world just interpreted aliens as gods.
Paano mag-add
Ricard
ng
says this
ano?
carrot.
No friend. I mean,
XTHELAWX says you hide or web so other PPL can't see what we're doing backslash.
Secret dungeons.
I'm going out.
Ito na yung mga
Yulu says
dungeon.
I would never hide my weapons. Kyrina says don't want
No,
everyone
basta
to
sa
see
akin,
my
ano.
two-hander. Cap Zeep says DPSLFG Abyss. Cap America says don't you mean, a ZWEI Honder? Lance Bringers, Mad County says INV. So Emily says Dark Slayer daggers.
Ako, dito na ata ako lalaban. Sabi
Says
ko,
you have entered a peace zone. Tufa Swink says, Liago says where do I get weapon lithographs lol. Says killed wasp. Cap America says from the weapons you break apart to turn into lithographs. Says killed Scarab.
Dito pala pa level.
Says killed Scarab.
May merchant.
Says killed Scarab.
Pala eh. Power leveling kaya ako.
Says killed Scarab.
May mga stats, di ba? Ano yung stats? Anong letter yan? Ay, P? Letter B ba yan?
Ha? P, yeah. P. Player.
Dinagdagan mo yung strength. Anong meron?
More on ano yan? Health.
Sige.
Tapos ano, parang armor ba? Pang patank.
Blacksteel says LFG Sarodoma DPS/healer.
Feeling ko kailangan ko dagdagan ng konti yung strength ko.
Magtatank ako. Strength type.
Says stat distribution complete.
Okay.
Says killed Scarab. Says killed Violent Harvester. Resurrected says LFG for says killed Scarab. Twisted Vision says LFP Crypt. Says killed Wasp. Says killed Violent Harvester. Says killed Violent Harvester. Says killed Wasp. Ballistics says LFG Silius Abyss. Salfer says killed Scarab. Poinard says LFG Shadow. A girl UWU says LFG Crypt. Nutcracko says Nutcracko's party silent says killed Violent Harvester. Narcanatic says Narcanatic's party island.
Kapatid pala si Sophia at saka si Dorothy.
But after the cursed rain came, it became infested with strangely enlarged pests. People tried to solve the problem by employing the power of free wizards, but the free wizards' clumsy magic only made things worse.
Says you have acquired token collector says WTF just found a epic platinum fishing rod.
Teleportation was a rare skill that was only used by a few wizards.
Vampire says anyone play paladin? GS/wand, had a few questions. Says you have acquired appendix play button how to use a waypoint completion reward, S.
Waypoint.
If you open the map and select an activated waypoint, you can instantly
So I need to unlock the waypoint?
Yeah, of course.
So I need to go
Para
to
makapag-teleport ka.
teleport. Yeah, okay. So I need to go all of them near me.
Hmm.
Okay.
What should I do?
Says you have acquired the once peaceful Ryfield's completion reward, S.
How can I help you? Do
make it, but... no. Please forget what I just said. I can't. I haven't received the Master's approval yet. What if I just tell you the ingredients?
Kick the Bucket says Kick the Bucket's party Shadow Crypt.
Collect decomposed hearts from violent harvesters, poison stingers from wasps, and contaminated horns from scarabs.
What's Scrab Martin?
Come back here with all of those.
Says you have acquired the Herbalist's Gloomy Apprentice completion reward. S.
The herbalist's apprentice.
Says Killed Scarab.
Has been an apprentice there for some time, though he has yet to gain the approval of his master. You've heard that the locals pitied the outstanding apprentice, a gifted student who suffered under a
Says Killed Scarab. Says Mushkey says LOL. Cap America says I. LVL 20 cooking. Says Killed Violent Harvester. Says Killed Wasp.
Dungeon, oh! Dimensionar Circle.
Says Killed Violent Harvester.
Ba't kaso lang, level 24 pa lang ako.
What level?
Says Killed Scarab.
30 and above.
Power leveling.
Tinan mo, Dimension Pumpkin.
Says Killed Wasp.
Ah,
Says you have reached LV4.
Makakuha ka ng Pumpkin Lord.
Says you have acquired. Cap Zeep says DPS LFG Abyss.
Lord, headpiece
Says
ko,
Killed
lang,
Violent
temporary
Harvester.
lang yun. Pagkagabi lang. Pag nakakausap ko yung mga spooky residents.
Says Killed Violent Harvester. Says Killed Wasp.
Ako dun sa isang.
Says Killed Scarab.
Anong level ka na, Pork Chop?
What should I do?
Dapat maka-level 50 man lang ako. Para makapagbago or siguro 30 pwede na siguro. Magpasok ko lang ng dungeon.
Says Killed Scarab. Says Killed Violent Harvester. Says Killed Violent Harvester. Says Killed Scarab.
Level 50 for today.
Honestly, now's not the time to be worrying about goblins.
Max level tomorrow.
Mysterio Spell says damn lucky Akinoba. Mysterio Spell says nah JK.
Welcome to Mandrake Farmstead, where we grow 'em with love from seed to harvest. If it's fresh mandrakes you need, you've come to the right farm.
Oh my. I've just run out of root. Then try harvesting the roots from the mandrakes planted out in the field. Oh, by the way.
Okay. Oh damn, there's a lot of them. What is this?
Nutcracko says Healer LFG Sorodoma Island.
What the hell? Yo, what is that? Monster.
Baying Cow Ya says heals L says you can use dash morph soon. Leg Day says DPS, says Laslan Monster Lore, Volume 1 1 page collected. Yurihanzo says DPS 3K LFG Sanctum.
Where I'm going.
C2 God says floor 6, Abyss C2 Gods Party.
Probably the other side.
Komi Kuro says Kami Kuro's Party Sorrow. Nigryad says it's raining. Nutcracko says find more people. Yurihanzo says Sanctum LFG DPS. Bayangkao Ya says LFG Sanctum.
This is a big map, actually.
While you search for treasures hidden in ships wrecked by storms and chests that have been drifting, you will encounter the Masters.
Pork Friday RI says LFG Sanctum. Stardog says Stardog's Party Sanctum LFM. Yurihanzo says Yurihanzo's Party 3/6 Sanctum. Vipar says LF Crypt. Sheep 63 says LFG Island.
What brings you here? Huh? These are the ingredients needed to make rancid powder. Martinet must have sent you. But how did you know about these ingredients? Oliver, that clever boy. How did he figure this out already? He's quite bright. Herbalists have to go to Paris.
Mysterio Spell says Mysterio Spell's Party Sanctum GTF in.
Can't even stand the sight of a mere ant. I'm waiting for him to overcome his fears. Well, I'll make the rancid powder for you right away. It must be urgent for you to come all the way out here. But look at me, rambling on.
Nanzan 777 says LFG Abyss 5F.
Here's your rancid powder. Planning to go straight back to Martinet? In that case, why don't you try opening your map and teleporting to Castleton?
Says you can now view your milestones.
Mandrake Farmstead.
Nice.
You were able to meet the herbalist Wilson. He always entrusted the apothecary to his apprentice and collected herbs alone. He had to venture to all sorts of dangerous areas to get medicinal herbs, but his pupil was a coward who would flee at the sight of an ant.
Okay. Thank you for the reminder. Excuse me.
Gi Naya says LFG Crypt.
I can level this.
XGHXST Charmin says LFG Desire DPS. XGHXS says Kill Chess Station. Says killed Hermit Lobster. Bayangkao Ya says sorry was popping contracts ill heal. Bayangkao Ya says go crazy on pulls. Vipar says Vipar's Party Crypt. Ivlone says Komi Kuro says Kami Kuro's Party Sorrow Domina Island. Says you have entered a safe zone. Carpet says LFG DPS Sanctum.
Oh man, the map is very big. I'm here. Right now. Okay, so where should I deliver my thing?
Theodes says a bunch of big strong men in world chat. Just Milek 621 says good afternoon. Join Gondar calls. For mature, Carpet says a bunch of twinks. Angile says LFG Abyss for contracts. Says you have unread mail.
Did you find rancid powder? How are you feeling? Have you gotten any worse? I'm glad you're all right. The rancid powder you brought is high quality. I'll make the Mana calming potion for you right away.
Megan Glock says sounds gay.
All right, here you are. Why don't you try it and see how it works?
Oh, should I grab the potion?
Warren says I just got on. Man.
It works.
How are you? Are you feeling any better? Just as I thought. It's much more effective. I tried to improve the efficacy, but I didn't expect the results to be this good. The calming potion's effect is very effective this time. I need to bring this to my sister right away. But as you know, I'm in no position to be wandering around.
DR Skyhook says does I am nice says LFG Sanctum. Kanga says Kanga. DR Skyhook says on food.
Bring this to Mina. Only Mina knows where my sister is, you see. Zeroth's men might follow me and find... Yes, Zarath, the leader of Laslin's Archeum unit. He's one of the Khazar's top commanders. He wants the power of my sister's staff.
Nanzan 777 says LFG Crypt.
You see, if the power is strong enough, the mana will go into a frenzy. The calming potion is controlling your power for now, but you can't hide from Zarath forever. Please be careful.
Cap America says I think not.
Okay, so I need to go.
Says you have the calming potion that Martina made worked. Says you have unread mail.
Soon after you drank the potion, you could feel your magic begin to settle down. Martinet, who had been researching a way to relieve her older
Lloyd's
sister
Lucent
Adriana's
says.
pain for so long, finally succeeded in creating a potion more effective than her other attempts.
Says stat Kanga says Kanga's party sanctum. Says stat distribution complete.
Oh my gosh, naantok na ako.
Salfer says LFG sanctum.
Wait, you have work?
No,
Oh,
I'm off for 4 days.
nice.
Inaantok lang ako kasi feel tired.
I was thinking to be dagger, but I'm using a shield and bow right now. We must complete. We need to complete.
Stardog says Stardog's party sanctum LFM.
Wait, where's the... Oh, really?
That was close. I can't believe the ghastly tales were true.
What's in here?
Says Laslan Delicacy 1 page collected. Gore says who's watching Worlds RN. Fair Thurander says peddler in Vienta by the entrance gate. Salfer says Salfer's party sanctum 2 spots. Wennis Hut says this world's game is crazy. Gore says says you have entered a peace zone. Gore says Faker is crazy bro. Gore says he's cooking. Wennis Hut says he's the goat. Gore says
Haida, how's the dog?
Mushkey says my heart was broken at last year's Worlds, so I refuse. Gore says. Gore says T1 is GOAT. Says classic mode enabled. Says action mode enabled. Gore says T1 destroyed last year. RMHT1 says MDI. Geo Arma says HOTTOGO. You can take me out to go.
Help you. Seeing that you brought the calming potion, I'm pretty sure that Martinet must have sent you. If she said...
Says you have acquired news from Mina completion reward,
Xerox
S.
spies were closing in on Adriana's hideout, forcing her to flee. Martinet's potion was still not effective enough to control her mana completely, so she set out to find a way to quell her frenzied mana on her own.
Says acquired leveling log rewards. Baying Kao Ya says LFG Sanctum. Komi Kuro says Kami Kuro's party Sarodamina Island save. Gore says 500 kills at Worlds, what a beast. Marlazar says Faker is too good. Says stat distribution complete.
What's my next mission? I have to go up.
Yuwu says congrats Vanity, you handsome man. Mushkey says teamwork developed over the years does a lot as well. Best Bad Luck says any Shadow Crypt parties healer here. Marlazar says you aren't the best player in the world for over a decade due to teamwork.
Unfortunately, we're a bit late.
Mushkey says I mean.
One must have taken Adriana away.
You have a star fragment just like that girl. I won't be going home empty-handed after all.
Mushkey says not saying he's not good, just saying I'm still salty.
You dare interfere with our plans? I'll kill you!
Oh, I need to fight them?
Says you have. Lucky Blackatene 3 says did T1 win?
Beating up little chickens again?
Says you can use dash morph soon. XANOI, Marlazar says it's game 4. If T1 wins it goes to game 5. Company P says Guild, Los Mosquitos, LVL 13, Recluta Gente Latina, Estamos iniciando un Guild Nuevo para todos los interesados en contenido de gremio, jugamos por las tardes para contenido PvE, el loot está quien lo dropi, contamos con Discord y Stream, the Archeum. Company P says Guild, Los Mosquitos, LVL 13, Recluta Gente Latina, says stat distribution complete.
Did you discover her research papers?
Puntunk says anyone for Sanctum of Desire contract for. King Shi says LFG Sarodomina Island. Mushkey says could be same situation as last year, T1 has great endurance.
So wait, treasure. Ooh, I got the book. Oh, nice. I got some weapon and armor.
Marlazar says Silver Scrapes baby.
Just who was Janice Carter anyway?
Puntunk says sup y'all.
My power immediately. I knew that as long as I possessed it, I would be targeted.
Gore says game 5.
She ended up telling me that the only
Gore says Faker Goat ASF. Dirty Sparrow says DPS LFG Crypt. Wennis Hut says game, you found a document which contained, and says do.
Someone Adriana had met. Janice, recognizing the strength of the star fragment that Adriana had,
Gore, Wennis Hut says this game was crazy.
was to leave as soon as possible and
Cap Zeep says LFG Abyss.
Archeum forces captured Martinet, the younger of two twin sisters. By keeping her hostage, they forced the shaman
Gore
Adriana,
says FR.
who wielded the power of a star fragment, to call forth the rains. As the ritual began, rain cascaded from the sky, accompanied by crashes of thunder. But the Archeum forces had altered the ritual. Their tampering caused a cursed rain to fall on Laslan. Wherever the rain fell, creatures transformed into violent monsters that attacked people and devastated the farmland. Adriana was shocked.
Puntunk says when is the C2 God says Island C2 Gods party.
On the sisters, meaning to kill them now that they had served their purpose. The awe-inspiring power of the star fragment that lay dormant within Adriana flooded out, and their enemies were annihilated in an instant.
Poinard says Poinard's party crypt 2 slots left. Cascafemto says which is better, Tuglex staff or Umbramancer? Mushkey says technically still Hallows weekend, so you've got a bit longer before the mask and body odor become concerning. Says you have unread mail. Gianaya says LFM36 script. Says you have entered a safe zone. Diablo OD says Gianaya, it would be a lot easier if you linked your party. Fairthurinder says it's a me. Gianaya says LFM crypt 46 Gianaya's party.
Ali, did you leveling your log? Or you don't need to?
Lord Marshmallow says LFG Sarduma Island. Feel my totem says where peddler. Komikuro says Kamikuro's party Sarodamana Island save. Megan Glock says you're.
One second, guys.
Corkcell says DPS LFG Abyss. Ivectra says Ivectra's party crypt 3/6. Theodes says is Wildwood on? Funny ASF to hear he is lying about us poaching players when they just saw how we don't steal loot and aren't toxic, so they left to join LMAOO. I want what he's on.
Oh man.
Revolupius. Many have died because of this evil man.
Megan Glock says, wanna be on? Suprax says DPS LFG 2600 invid. Croxile says man why can you turn off chat filters, I can't make sense of what I wish I had a Glock said. Zazazina says LF, Sonic says LF, Lord Marshmallow says LFG.
Wait, where's the mission now?
Poinard says Poinard's party crypt depths 2 slots need be inside. Faceless QT says LFG, Theodes says yeah, Obsecrated says yes. Says you can use dash morph soon. Says Laslan Delicacy 2 page collected. Obsecrated says sideball / die bomb tank.
Oh my god.
Morgo Thungalaya says Garexp says Sanctum join Garexp's party.
Ali, you there?
Croxile says pretty lame.
What level did this thing keep talking when out sa game?
Level 11, I guess.
Says you have unread mail. Grim Navo says TV Hobo says LFG crypt. Croxile says can we all just decide of code words for curse words?
Okay. Collect the final reward.
Skip mo na lang.
Okay. Gusto ko yung the NPC only the one who talk, not the whole map.
Adventurer, now that her
Puntunk says Keel Jabroni.
decided to my calming potion won't be enough to fully control your mind. When we meet again,
Jest Plays says, Kinger says just use modern words. Coffee Barra says like dick. Kinger says you're being a real Sigma Riz Skibadai. Says you have unread mail. TV Hobo says LFG crypt. Croxile says like the F word could be, just Miluk 621 says eyes on peddler. Cap Mer Vipar Iron Kickaxe says LOL. Real Puntunks Obsecrated says. Kinger says it felt nasty coming from my fingers. Croxile Coffee Barra says what the Obsecrated says Goja R. Diffwakening says Island LFG. Goja says K. T. King She says, Lord Marshmallow says LFG Sardumat. Slick John says Slick John's part. Real Sinister says Real Sinister's party island contracts run. Croxile says the C word could be Skittle Surprise. WL Miley Spencer says pay C cell hap lucent use code TL5. Puntunk says what the flippin' patios. Garix Coffee Barra says just straight up say dick. Says you have unread mail. DA Beefhog says LFM Sanctum de Beefhog's party. Cap Exadria says Noctrium is recruiting active players. We would like to focus on doing Coffee Barra says or vagina. Croxile says well dick is also a common name so maybe they don't block that for a reason.
Zeroth's men will find this clinic sooner or later, so I also decided to leave before it's too
Coffee Barra says Dick's Sports and Goods.
My calming potion won't be enough to fully control your mana. It's too powerful. But it'll
Croxile says sporting but yes. Legday says LFG sank. Ricardi Zion says it's very common. Puntunk says who here is named Dick? DAB Cap America says who sports a good dick? DA Beefhog says LFM. Ricardi Zion says I'm named Dick.
Oh my god, what?
Fado says I'm gay.
It's crazy.
Croxile says, Coffee Barra says where is the vagina popping machine? WL Miley Spencer says pay C cell hap lucent use code TL5 get. Puntunk says Fado, we used, says you have acquired, in the past, when Archeum, says you have unread mail. Slick John says Slick John's party Silus need one more 2900 plus.
What the hell? I need to take this off. It's so annoying they talking in
Obsecrated.
Is it a map chat? Son. Turn off the global. Oh, right here. Settings. And where? Settings. Then. Oh my god, thank god, it's gone. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Whew, thank god. Oh shit. Thank god. Okay, let's go. No more sounds. It's so annoying. Sorry, guys.
Couldn't you find it in your heart to help me out, adventurer? Have you ever heard of this monster known as Iskale the Greyfanged? He was this dreadful wolf that possessed terrible malvescence. Back in my younger days, I almost ended up getting killed by Iskale. The only reason I'm alive to speak to you about this today is that Henry, the Lord's son, came to rescue me and the other children. He heroically sacrificed his own life to defeat Iskale. Whenever I get the chance, I try to visit Henry's grave in Castleton Abbey to leave some offerings. Last time, I made some gloves for him using the hide of a rabbit that I caught. The anniversary of Henry's death is coming soon, so I'd like to prepare a special gift for his grave. I saw a beautifully crafted keepsake at an old hunter's house once. He said he got it from participating in the wolf hunting contest that is held in Henry's memory. I wish I could get one of those keepsakes and bring it to Henry's grave, but I'm still too young to participate in the contest. You don't mind? You'll really get one of those keepsakes for me? If that's the case, then No, never mind.
Ooh.
Actually, it would be nice if I could have 2 of these keepsakes. Do you think it'd be possible to get 2? Thank you so much, adventurer! The contest is hosted at the Lord's residence in Castleton. Go there and ask how you can participate.
Brother, this way! Come over here for a second!
Wait, where is it? Over there.
things to do. Making arrangements for the contest, checking up on the farm. I know that you've come a long way, but our situation is pretty bad. We might even have to shut down the contest at this rate. We must lure the wolves to proceed with the contest, but the bait we've been using just isn't working. Lord Hobbs cherishes this contest. He hasn't missed a single one. You have no idea how much trouble I'll be in if this year's event falls flat.
Good. I'll be back for garbage.
What are you playing for, Keith? Are you playing Dota? Wait, you're playing too? Is it... What is it? Is it The Witcher? What is it? Oh, Jesus.
Wait. If you're here for the contest...
Oh, you started it? I see, I see. Is it free? How does Hyena have it too? Or did you just both have it already?
A wolf hunter keepsake. But
We
that's
already
no.
played it.
But first you need to help me
Why I can
procure
Oh, you're
my
playing...
sword.
Sorry, it's because I'm on my phone.
Oh,
I can turn
okay.
down the volume.
Never mind. It's okay.
Um...
I've been playing it like 2
Please
weeks ago or
defeat the
something.
crackle in the
And
wrecks
then
on
I
Wind
just
Hill Shores.
continued today.
They're tricky to find. Also,
Oh, I see.
investigate any chests
I
that
see.
are left in the wrecks.
I'm in a story mode
They
right
often
now.
contain fishing bait.
Was I... Did you...
Excuse me.
So you should equip at least...
Dave, the Lord's
Never
aide,
mind.
was
I have no
concerned that
question.
the bait he was using for the wolf hunting contest wasn't effective enough. He decided to solve this problem by developing a new kind.
If you
To get
joined
keepsake
again
Osiri,
last night, I
you
think
must
I fell
first gather
asleep.
the ingredients for this new bait from Windhill Shores.
I don't know if you
Me?
joined again. Because you were... Yeah, because you were like, oh, I'll come back in like
Yeah,
2
I did
hours
join.
if you're still...
You guys
Oh, yeah,
were
I'm sorry.
sleeping, you guys AFK. Then Hyena and I think she were in the bed or something.
Yeah, I fell asleep. I was
So
up till
I
like
need to
4.
turn right. What the hell? Hold up.
Oh, brother! Why is your back? That's great. You look more composed than last time, so I guess it went well. Anyway, I have something to tell you. Do you know how to transfer upgrade levels? I thought as much. If you want to prepare yourself properly against all sorts of Archeum spots... Brother, let me tell you something I learned. When you perform a transfer, the older equipment's upgrade level is completely moved to the new equipment. It's much more efficient than upgrading new gear from scratch. So, brother, remember to upgrade every piece of equipment as much as you can.
Okay.
Got that, brother? Transferring power means you never have to throw away a piece of equipment. So feel free to upgrade everything as much as you'd like. It's easy.
Okay. Next, where should I go next?
Hello, friend. Come on in and look around. What kind of weapon do you need, my friend?
Where
Headgear, gloves, shoes. I can make them all.
over here. Armor.
Ah, you must be the adventurer that our aide mentioned. So, you're off to hunt Crackle? That means you're in need of some tough armor.
Usually, you need to bring materials to crafters like us to make armor. Since you came through Dave's introduction, I will provide the materials just this one time. Try crafting the armor you need.
The Lord's Aid Dave introduced you to an armorsmith at Castleton named Rachel. Rachel gave you some materials and told you to craft some armor.
Do I need to craft armor?
One day I want to craft armor that can defend against any attack.
Battle. (42, 46). And what's next? From white to gold.
Don't forget your cloak.
Ali, you there, Ali?
Hmm.
Did you level your level in Lagpas? Level in log? Do we need to level this? Oh, I don't have weapon rare.
Oh, not a bad job at all. Now, upgrade the armor. You know how, right? The more you upgrade your armor, the more damage it can withstand. Here, I will give you some materials. Try. That's all I can teach you for now. Keep crafting.
You successfully crafted armor using Rachel's materials. You will bring more materials you find on the road to a crafter to make other types of armor.
I need to decide. Should I be a dagger or
That armor you're wearing? It's brilliant!
I need to decide.
Come back soon. Hello again.
But let me finish the quest. What's the next quest? Oh, I need to be there. Let me tell. And then we are here.
Unfortunate accidents often happen off the coast of Castleton, when fishing boats are sunk by the perilous reefs. Chunks of the bait that anglers use are sometimes found in the chests that wash ashore from the wreckage. Their pungent smell is highly effective at luring in wolves.
If anyone...
Let's go.
Crustaceans called crackles are often found in the wrecks near Windhill shores. Crackles are as ferocious as they look and have a pungent smell. It's said that a hunter once won the wolf hunting contest by secretly using crackle meat as bait.
Faster. Where's my mission?
Are you back already? That was fast. Thanks to you, the contest will go on. Why don't you ask Chris, the head of the association? He's also the Lord's younger brother. He must be preparing for the contest at the western campsite on the Black Howl Plains. Use those ingredients to make some bait, then bring it to Chris. Since you did all the work, you should be the one to deliver it to him. That way he can thank you in person. Take the exit on the second floor of the Lord's residence and head up to the Castleton Abbey. You'll find an aged herb extract jar. Steeping the ingredients in those jars makes the bait extra fragrant and effective. Chris is probably worried that the contest might not take place. On your way there, please send my letter to him via parrot mail to let him know the bait is on the way. Oh, and just so you know, there's a waypoint in the Black Howl Plains, too. It will make traveling there much easier.
When you returned with the ingredients, the Lord's aide was greatly relieved that he could proceed with the contest as intended. He asked you to deliver the new bait to the Lord's brother, Chris, in Black Howl Plains. He also is the head of the Wolf Hunters Association, so you'll need to talk to him to acquire a keepsake.
Then, after that, what should I do? Right now, what weapon should I can't decide. Oh. Cannot decide right now. I'm not gonna get it. Wait. Why I have an arrow like arrow this? Oh, right there. Okay.
This vast plain was once a
there's
cherished
something there.
village
What is
landmark
that?
before the packs of giant wolves appeared. Now, even seasoned hunters avoid it. Those who trespass into the realm of savage beasts must prepare to face death.
There's something there.
Oh, it smells good. Someone must be cooking meat out on the plains.
On the plains? Stupid hunters! They won't listen no matter how many times I tell them that the smell will attract wolves.
Where is the person the Lord's aid was supposed to send? Oh, maybe we should postpone the contest. Ah, you're the adventurer my aide told me about. Wait, is that new wolf bait? Good. The old bait didn't work very well. I'm grateful for your help. The hunting contest is the pride of Castleton. Are you here to make a name for yourself? What? Wolf hunting keepsakes? They were only given out in the early days of the contest. Our aides must have been mistaken. But the story.
Oh my God, what is that?
I believe the children my nephew saved still remember him. It's something to be thankful for. I have an idea. You should speak with the artisan who made the keepsakes in the past. Find him and tell him I sent you. Be warned, though. Materials are hard to come by. Are you willing to get them yourself? If so, you're going to need to collect broken wolf fangs and radiant antler fragments. Wolf fangs can be acquired by hunting wolves on the plains. Deer antlers can be found near Hamel's tomb. That's where the deer of the plains go to end their lives. You don't know about Hamel? Hamel was a mysterious deer that protected the Black Owl Plains. The villagers believed Hamel was sacred and could travel through both time and dreams. Hamel drove Iskael out once, but the monstrous wolf returned with a mighty malfeasance. Lately, I've been seeing more Starborn in the village. I have to admit, they make me a bit uneasy. With such strange powers, any one of them has the potential to turn out. Once you collect the materials, you'll need to visit the artisan named Thomas in Castleton. Tell him it's a favor for me, and he'll happily oblige. Do me a favor. On your way to Hamel's tomb, stop by the watchtower and light a beacon fire. It's a signal that the wolf hunting contest will resume soon.
broken fang from one of the ferocious wolves that inhabit the Blackhow Plains. Only intrepid hunters can acquire this material, symbolizing the death of Iskael the Greyfang.
why the arrow pushing me there, but I'm gonna go. I'm going for it. Oh, there's a barrier. What is that? Oh, that's the barrier? There's nothing in there. Why I need to go here? What the hell? I think I need to go back. And then we go to the... where is it? There. Let's explore the map. Did Kaino fall asleep? Where there's a barrier? Wait, she fall asleep? Kaina! Oh shit. She fall asleep.
Par, ang dami pala nito. 3 ata.
Pero
Nandun na.
dumating ako dito mga ano,
Nasa cannibal.
220.
Hello guys.
So nag-stick na ako ngayon.
Di na ata.
Any bug?
May brutal par.
Server?
Eh, pupuntahan ata nila yan
Baka
par.
possible RS 250. Ganun.
Teka lang, antayin mo ako mag ano.
Nandun pa sila. 50%.
Any bug sa server guys?
Hinahabar ko lang yung ano, dun sa live. Hinahabar ko yung mouse. Nakalive si Baldo eh.
Par, pingin vampire par.
Pili ko tinetesting yung ano. Yung vampiric.
Saan? Nasa Discord ka na naman nila.
Oo.
Monster. Hindi na basta matetest yun. Sa tao talaga yun.
Scan ka, Mac. Baka tapos na, hayop ka.
Andyan na.
Harap ko na.
Andyan na. Oo.
Already ka. Ang game.
Alis ka dyan. Eto na.
Ayun na.
Hindi
Gusto mo patayin natin sa torre?
Teka lang, alis ka muna. Wag. Papatayin natin yan si Balto. Ano ka ba? Tarantado.
Mamamatay sa torre, hindi sila nag-stealth.
Hayaan mo, mag-i-stealth yan.
Ayan na, nag-stealth na. Number 1 sa akin si Spades.
Wasakin mo si Baldo.
Tragis ka.
Ay, ayaw maniwala.
Ge.
Sinabi kong wasakin mo, hayaan mo. Kupal. Hindi ka kaya patayin ni ano ha. Full attack ka lang ha. Full attack Akyo ha. Naka-GT, patayin mo ha. Naka-GT ha. Gago ka. Hindi ko siya magsasaka.
Magsasaka, Spades. Pili ko sino...
Walang kwenta magsasaka. Dito tayo, hard left.
Sinubil ata yung ano.
Si Spades no.
Oo. Space lang ang numberan ko eh.
Sige lang, ako bahala. Naka-number sa akin lahat.
All.
Game ready ha. O, Baldo,
Sino?
ha? O, Baldo ha. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ano mo ka?
Game, Spades, 3, 2, 1, go.
Terrain was a town that thrived on trade.
Ako skill maka.
Changed on the
Sige.
day of the funeral of
Patay
the
na to.
powerful wizard who devoted his life
Wala na
to its
gagawin.
protection. That was the day the Slavian Order's Shadowmancers attacked, waging a great war with the town's remaining wizards. The town was destroyed, and zombies roam its ruins.
I don't know which should I get. Or not. Right now I'm just grabbing
Sweet Ukarak, I don't even have money for another drink. Who are you? Keepsakes? Yeah, I made them. But I made my last one a long, long time ago. It's been so long, I can't even remember how to use my tools. I may not look it, but I'm very anxious. Whenever I begin a new project, I become consumed with doubt and indecision, and... So, Eerie, you mean that girl Henry said? But I just messed this up and disappoint her. And not just one, but two. No, I can't. All right, fine, I'll try. But I need total silence to work, so please don't make a sound. Anyway, I hope Soere likes them. It feels great to pick up my tools again.
Like a
and get a
dwarf.
bit of my own confidence back. I want to make you something too, someday. I don't feel quite ready yet. Actually, you should visit Marianne, the accessory crafter. A well-crafted accessory can make you more powerful. Tell her I sent you, and she'll be good to you.
Thomas, a Castleton craftsman, reminisced about the past and recreated the same kind of wolf-hunting keepsake he made in times long gone. He vividly remembered the days when Iskale raided his town.
Adventurer, did you... You're a real lifesaver! Thank you so much! I'm so happy that you did all this for me! I'll put this keepsake to good use. I'll offer it at Henry's grave to let him know the hunting contest is still being held in his name. Actually, we weren't just saved by Henry. There happens to be another hero who came to save us that day. However, that person vanished without even saying a word. Do you think I'll meet that other hero someday? If I ever do, I'll hold on to this other keepsake so I can give it to them. Oh, if you have the time, you should go and visit Henry's grave. You'll be able to find his tomb over in the Abbey. That's the place where Henry fought Iskale. Oh, really? That'd be real nice. Castleton Abbey is located on a hill that's somewhere between the town and the plains.
There is a way to make your skills stronger. You'll need to use skill growth books to learn new skills. I knew it. Thank you for helping out Martinet. I will prepare special items for you, just for this once. Enhance your skills with active and passive skill growth books.
Following Thomas's advice, you visited the skills researcher Adrian. Adrian taught you how to craft and use skill growth books. Armed with this new knowledge, you now have the potential to become even stronger.
Every skill contains great wisdom. Congratulations. You've done very well. Now, is there anything else you would like to know more about? Oh, if you find any skills books for skills you've already learned, don't worry. You can bring them to me, and I'll use them to craft solutions. Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
You crafted a skill growth book with Adrian's help. Adrian said if a skill reaches a certain level, an additional effect will be activated. Such power will be very helpful in the coming war.
Use your hard-earned parchments to learn various skills.
Hey guys, I'm gonna end up my stream right now. I'm gonna take a rest and cook some food for dinner. Yeah, I don't know, it's just 2:30. Thank you guys. Have a good afternoon and see you guys sometime.
Oo, siya.
Hello. Ano ginagawa niyo?
Boss Joras. Yung pala si Boss Joras. Boss Joras.
Oh.
May buff ano ka? Yung armor ability?
More.
Meron. Which ability hinahanap mo?
Vampire.
Bump?
Let
me check.
Check mo. Sakaling
Boss
kita
Mac, nadidemonyo ako, Boss Mac.
Dali, papalo ako nito.
May 2 slot pala tong ano, ay.
Boots.
Vampiric set yung gagawin mo. Maganda yan.
Hindi, pang ano lang, pang farm lang. Hero build.
Armor or weapon?
Armor.
Let me, wait.
Boss George, may armor ka na vampiric?
Meron. Anong ability?
Meron na kay Nico. Actually,
Hindi, ito, weapon pala, weapon.
Weapon, wala.
Sabi mo kanina meron.
Sabi
Sige,
ko,
okay lang.
ang tinatanong niya ability, hindi armor mismo.
Kaya nga.
Oo nga.
Ability nga.
Tinitingnan ko pa.
Meron ka ng ability na pang weapon.
Wala ata. Check ko muna.
Ayun, RS na guys. Game. Let's do this. Toko na to, suplado tong tyrant to.
Putak mo, munti ko na pipindot
Your
yung
account
TV.
currently online. How the fuck am I currently online? I'm not even online.
Boss George, let's go, Boss George.
Totoo ba? Online yung character ko?
No.
Your account currently online. Please exit the game. And using this featured. Oh, fuck.
Naglolo ko yan, yung sa Game CP.
Mm.
Ganyan din sa akin minsan.
Paano kukuha ng ano ngayon, ng quest?
Log out mo lang yan. O kaya i-log in mo muna, tapos exit.
Joras, may weekly ka, Joras?
Ayun, Boss Robert, dali. Boss Robert.
May solver tayo?
Meron.
Yun na, naka-mute yata ako dito kay Robert eh. Hype to eh.
Anong mute? Hayop ka. Narinig ko.
Ina.
Nonchalant lang siya.
Nonchalant.
Boss Robert, dali. Pera mo ako.
Kinchana.
Bump.
Nang. Anong
Armor
bump?
ability.
50M.
50
Tangina, grabe ka, Boss Robert ah. Baka
50M
ay
talaga
ganun.
siya, par. 50M talaga siya. Disena, yung ano niya.
Eto nga. Bibigay ko nga. Pati yung ano. Malis coupon. Pati yung boots.
Hoy, bossing kupal.
Kukombine mo lang. Naka, Boss Robert. Saan ka?
Yan bang armor ability, hindi yan nalulot. Nakukuha yan sa ano, sa binibili mo.
Kaya nga, Boss Robert. 11M lang yun.
Oo nga. Sige, bili ka.
Hype na to, meron ka na nga. Gagamitin mo ba yan?
Hindi, binibenta ko nga.
Puta, bibenta mo pa yan. Sige, wag na.
Umalas.
Ah,
20M.
Boss Joros na lang. Nandyan na si Boss Joros eh.
20M.
Wag na. 11M nga lang yan pare.
Oo nga, pero
Sige nga.
hindi kasi yun yung gusto mong makuha kaya mahal. Yun yung sinasabi namin.
Oo. Doras nga binibenta sa akin, 40M eh.
50M,
50M ata.
60M na nga yan eh. 50, 60M na nga yan eh. Pag binili mo eh. Wait lang, check ko kung may extra ako.
Pam na ako.
Meron.
Tangin na.
Gago to, di malagi. Sayang nakita ko yung mga armor ko. May armor ako isa eh, alam ko eh. Kay Tito Jules mo, kay Nico. Nandun yung isa ko eh, headgear. Force. Pag naka 5 set ka nun, para ka naka ano eh, isang AOE mo lang sa kalaban, puno buhay mo.
Uy,
Uy, gago. Ang ilan to, sarantado yun ah.
Naman yan.
Sana walang video.
Gagi, convert sa stop yan.
Convert talaga.
Kupal yung nag-ups. Ay.
Sana walang video. Ay.
Plus 5 hayop. Strong yun.
Ay, be, ano?
2K yan pa.
Hi. Binisi.
Ano apps niya?
Tama na be, bilhin ko na yan be. Strong in.
Sa Permaforce Mask.
Di ba Empire?
Boss Pusoy.
Bah, good
ULL
deal
up.
yan. Hindi na natin kaya yan, Mac.
Ano yung na-ups? Ano yung na-ups?
First Gremball, kaya natin yan, First Gremball. Takot ka bang gago ka?
Wala tol, wala ako. Sorry.
Butong na more.
Ayun naman, pero makunat.
Ay, papayas lang yung Gremball, saka yung ano.
Dap?
Ayan, Boss Pusoy.
Halos, oo. Lamang
Di,
lang
oh.
ako
Sarap
siya,
nan.
sa praso lang. Ay, sus. Putak, tika,
Boss
wag ka
Pusoy.
sabihin, ako papatay.
Boss Pusoy,
Sa mobs.
bili ko na yan.
Pal.
Boss Pusoy, bili ko na yan, Boss Pusoy.
Ano bang bibilin mo? Ano bang na-ups?
Yung beam
Akala mo
pressure.
nachos yan, Boss Robert.
Yung account. Sige.
Uy, Robert, bayaran mo yung balance mo sa akin. Hayop ka. Maya ka na
Sino ka?
bumili.
Pincha na.
Sino ka? Boss Robert,
Tragis
sino
ka.
Sino to kausap ko?
Kaya nga eh. Hindi ko nga kilala eh. Bago ba yan?
Kupal.
Ano ba yan?
Siguro. Meron ba guru?
Wala, wala.
Ano bang gusto mo, Empire? Ay, putang ina si Baldo. Gago.
Ka.
Yan,
Nasaan-
na-raid ka
nasaan
par.
yan? Nasaan yan?
Malm.
Ano, nasampulan ka ng ano.
Body.
Nasaan?
Sa body nyo titignan, oh.
Nasampulan ka ng bumpirik.
Nasaan yan? Yung
Ether,
banda.
ether.
Ah,
Blitz,
puta na.
Oh.
Blitz.
Patay ito sa Boss Joros.
Patay kay Boss George yan.
Ah, nandiyan yung
Uupuan
video.
ko lang sila.
Hindi na kailangan patunayan.
Uupo lang si tayo sa kanila.
2 versus 1 yan kagabi. Pinatay ko yun.
Uupo lang. Ang hina naman. Ang hihina niya.
Patay ito sa Boss Joros ko. Boss Joros, sa Ether na, Boss Joros.
Wala yan.
Si Spades nga par, di mo bro kay Joros eh.
Dalawa pa sila ni
Sila
Starbucks.
arrogante.
Wala pa yan. Patay sila lahat.
Ay, tarantado ka, Mayhem. Dito si Mayhem, oh.
Hindi mo ba napanood yung video ni Joras?
Panood ko par, binasic.
Basic.
Basic. Basic ML.
Pati daw, wala pang bull niyon. Ini-spike niya. Grabe yung ISIS eh. Tak, tak.
Kinakalabit ng ISIS ang puti.
Plus 4 weapon? Magiging PvP weapon na? Oh shit!
Oh shit, ano?
Tatlong PvP weapon, here we go. Let's go.
Ano, tatlo na. Wala ka pala Mac eh. Dalawa lang yung sa'yo eh.
Centaurio yan par.
Malapit na, magtatlo. Malapit na.
Gago, ang dami ng reds dito sa WH.
Teka.
Kailangan ko na ng power.
Centaurio par.
Hintayin nyo kami ng kaibigan ko dito.